All right, peace, Black family. So first and foremost, let me start off by saying that in no way, shape, or form am I condoning this woman being hit by a brick. But I do want to point out a political aspect about this and a social aspect about this, because most people believe that this woman is black and she is not. Just because someone has dark skin does not mean that they are black. And she is also a known feminist. Now, again, this is not justifying her being hit by a brick. But as we all know, most feminists hate black men. And so this is why she immediately went to the concept or the idea that look at these black men standing around not doing anything for me after I've been hit by a brick, when essentially she hates black men and she doesn't identify as black. Her culture specifically doesn't identify as black. Now, why do I bring up the fact that her political ideology is feminism? Again, because feminists hate black men essentially, right? But it's interesting that, you know, people like her will scream, oh, I got hit and none of these black men, you know, stand up for me. But this young man right here, Junior from the Bronx, the one that was brutally hacked to death in the Bronx, in the corner store filled with Arab men, right? All those Arab men were like, get out my store. They actually was like closing him out the door. They gave him to the wolves to get chopped to death by these gang members. Nobody said these Arab men were cowards for pushing this young boy out the door to get killed. And obviously there's other parts about this story that becomes political, like you have, you know, people in the ADOS or FBA community who are saying, oh, look at these Caribbeans standing around, you know, watching this woman get brutalized. So I want to deal with that as well, right? So first and foremost, everybody is not, you know, prone to trauma. You know, everybody is not prone to psychological trauma. Everyone can't see somebody get shot or shoot at somebody or see somebody get punched in the face and react in this heroic way. It doesn't happen that way. I know you want to believe it does, but there are people who sign up to go to war, and then the first time they're in combat, they freeze up because they never expected it to be the way that it is. You don't know if these Jamaican men or whatever men were raised in the country part of their island and never even seen a goat head chopped off, right? So it's easy to say, oh man, these men are coward and they punks and things like that. And I believe that men should stand up and die for black women. Hands down. I'm not even going to negate that. That's not even an argumentative point. But we don't know the psychological aspect of these men. We don't even know if those men was fully there. We don't know if they arrived after the woman was hit by the brick. But, you know, nobody thinking that far. But also, there are cases like this case right here where you had black men, specifically a Haitian man, who was killed in Walmart in front of his family for defending a woman who was being abused by her boyfriend. I mean, shot dead 6 times in Walmart in front of his family. So this whole idea that black men, specifically Caribbean men, are not standing up for their women is just ludicrous to me. But again, I get it. There's a political aspect to it and there's a social aspect to it. And again, like I said, with this case specifically, you had, you know, witnesses who stood around and watched this man get hacked to death because maybe they weren't prone to trauma like that. Like, everybody can't handle trauma. Sometimes your brain, your mind freezes up. But again, this situation is a sad situation that this woman got hit by a brick. But it's also being turned into a political situation to make black men look cowardly, to make black men look scared, and everybody's using their political, you know, punchlines, whether it be FBA, ADOS, to prove their point, whether it be the feminist women. They're pulling about this brick situation to push their agenda, to push their point. Oh, look, we different from those Caribbeans. We would have did something. Or the feminist women. Oh, look at these black men. They ain't worth nothing. Everybody's pulling to their political agenda of this situation. And again, I want to reiterate, just because this woman is not Bantu black, just because she's not Bantu African, does not mean that she deserves to get hit in the head with a brick. Just because she is a feminist who hates black men still doesn't mean that she deserves to get hit in the head with a brick.